We are reading a hand of a top doctor, Dr. Sarin from Delhi, and he's the liver doctor, the famous liver doctor. On his hand, we would be reading a line that is very different from what we think that a doctor would have. Normally, we would think that a doctor would not have that kind of a line, but he has that kind of a line formation, which I'm just going to describe. So, this is his hand, and just notice his headline. This is the headline. It is leaning downwards, pointing towards the mount of moon. Okay. See, now because he is in the field of science, and scientific people, it is said that they are very practical. But out here, what we find is that the headline, it is leaning downwards towards the area of Mount of Moon. This makes the hand very unique. The reason is basically that Mount of Moon is the area of imagination, visualization, and romance. And the Mount of Moon is the area of artistry, art, music. See, I don't know that he's inclined towards art or music, so I'm not going to be talking about that particular aspect. But because he is in the field of science and the field of medical science, people would generally think that the Mercury finger, the Mercury finger is the finger of science, mathematics, engineering, medical science. Every doctor, they would have like some uniqueness with the Mercury finger, the smallest finger. This is the smallest planet, Mercury planet. This is the smallest planet, but it holds great importance in terms of doctor. But out here, it's something different. Now, a headline could have been straight. The headline, if it was straight, it would have meant that the person is a very practical kind of a person. The headline, if it was moving upward, then we would have said that if, I'm just saying if, in his case it is not, but I'm saying if it was moving upward, pointing towards the Mercury finger, then we would have said something to do with great amount of skill. But out here, we are not saying that. We are saying that person is very, very imaginative and a very good visualizer. And the person has artistry. Now, artistry does not purely mean that the person would be writing poems or writing songs or writing or doing some acting or music, those kind of stuff. I'm not talking about that. I would say in the field of medical science, he has that kind of a artistry. See, some people are more of technical kind, some people are very practical kind, some people are very imaginative kind. So even imaginative people could have, even in the field of science also, a person who is extremely imaginative, they may be impractical because Mount of Moon is the area for visualization, and visualization might not be what is there in the present. Maybe it might happen in the future, or it may have happened in the past. So the ability to imagine comes if the headline loops, points downwards towards the Mount of Moon. See, Mount of Moon, in some extreme cases, is also something like madness. Now, many people, when they look at their hands and they find a hand line that is similar downwards, they would feel extremely afraid. Oh, my my headline is leaning too much downwards, pointing towards the area of Mount of Moon. So some people might see a person's hand and they would say the person is going to be mad. But I would say no, it is not. It is not like that. It is not like the person is going to go mad, but it is madness towards the goals that you have set or the work that you are doing. So it can be seen as a good sign as well. I'm just giving you another comparison. Like he's a doctor, he's into science, and we would have generally thought that the headlines should be straight, more practical person. Uh, but in his case, the headline is leaning downwards. So he should have been in something like acting. Like if we compare another person, and that person should have had the headline leaning downwards, something like this. Like take a case of Deepika Padukone's husband, Ranveer. He has a headline that is straight. So headline that is straight makes a person very practical, and those people can't innovate. He poses himself to be extremely versatile and trying to do something very, very different, but from inside, the person doesn't have that imagination. That actor Ranveer, Deepika Padukone's husband, if the headline was leaning downwards, then it would have been good. If we take a look at the hand of famous movie actress Priyanka Chopra, even she has a headline similar to this. So if you have a hand similar to this, it doesn't mean that you're going to be more successful. I'm not saying, see, we should not every time look towards success or failure. Those are not the things. You're learning palmistry and you should open your mind when you're seeing a person's hand. While learning palmistry, you should look at all the aspects and then arrive at the conclusion. Sometimes what happens is that we can't give 100%, oh, this person is going to be successful and this person could be a failure, or a big failure or a big success. We cannot quantify the success just by looking at your hands. You have to be open about that particular aspect. As the quality of the hand is image that we have is not very good, I would not be speaking too much about this particular hand, but I've tried to explain to you how even doctors can have the headline lean towards the mount of moon, the area of imagination, visualization, romance, ability to see the future. It is the area of like imagination. So it is the opposite of practicality. A person can be practical, but out here it's the opposite. So such a person can think out of the book. So these people have that unique ability to imagination, and when they're healing a particular person, they would be able to look at various different options. So we can say to some extent that they are doctors, but they have the artistry in medical science. So this is what I was trying to convey out here. This was the most important aspect that I wanted to point out. Because normally what happens is we cage our mind. We would say a doctor would be very, very practical, lacking any imagination. They would be keeping the imagination in the side, and they would be basically not, they would be only looking at the practical outcomes and nothing to do with the imagination. But out here, it's the opposite. Thanks for watching this video. Bye and take care. Hopefully you like the video, and if you like the video, do click on the like button, click on the subscribe button. Thanks, bye and take care. If you have any particular questions related to palmistry, related to anything to do with being a doctor, like some people want to be doctors, so they can ask their particular questions related to that as well out here. Thanks, bye and take care.